Okay, welcome to today's video. It's going to be on Desmos, and I'm actually making this video for some who have never used Desmos before, so I'm going to take it from the very beginning. So if you've already used Desmos, then you might find the first of it just a little bit boring, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So assuming you've never used Desmos, then what you're going to want to do is sign up. And again, there's some things you have to agree with, so forth. I generally sign up using my Google Drive on everything, or my Google account, so I don't have to remember, but that's up to you how you want to go about that. So I have already done that, so I am going to log in. Okay, so I am logged in, and once you get logged in, there are several things that you're going to see. Again, one of the first things is if you just want to use a graphing calculator, then you could do that. I use this a lot for algebra, not as much for geometry. And so if you have taken my algebra course, we talk about this a lot. If you have not taken the algebra course, then you might think about doing that. But that is your graphing. Like I said, I don't use it as much for geometry, but it works basically just like a TI graphing calculator. Okay, so let's go on down through here. I never use the students or the class code, that type of thing. You could do that, but I usually wait until I've assigned and just give them the link. So one of the things that you're going to want to be very familiar with is this teacher piece of it, because this is where the pre-made activities are at, and that's the part that I'm going to show you right now. So you can do this several different ways. If you'll notice over on the left, over here, there is a list of words, conics, sections, functions, inequalities, middle school. You've got a view all. You can just keep going through there. So you can really easily look through that section if there is something in particular you're wanting to do. The other thing, again, is most popular, if you want to look at that and see what most people like. We'll talk about this here later, but this is your actual stuff. You can save some of these. You can make your own, a history of what you've assigned in the past. There is a resource button over here. Again, distance learning. This talks about how you can use Desmos for distance learning. This again is videos. If you go to Learn Desmos, they actually have a set of videos and tips and so forth showing you how to do everything. Designing and making our own activities is not something that we get too much into here. Basically, what we're looking at in this class is just showing you how to use the activities that are already pre-made. If some of you are interested in a Desmos course that just looks at making your own, then you might want to note that. I know I've had some from several classes in the past that have noted that. Math tools, again, those are all the different ones, and we will come back in and have another video that specifically talks about the geometry tools. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you is the easiest if you're looking for geometry, and since this is what the course is over, we'll do that, is just type in geometry. And what this is going to give you is all the ones that are listed as geometry. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to assign one of these. And there's multiple ways. I just click on it. Okay, so if you've looked at this and we'll look at this one in just a minute, but if you've looked at this and this is what you want to assign to your kids, I think the easiest thing to do is create class code. Here is your class code here. You could just give them the kids that. They could go into that Desmos or students.desmos.com if you want, and then give them this code. I think personally the easiest thing is, and especially if you're using Google Classroom or whatever you are doing, the easiest thing I think is to go to this, hit that dashboard, view dashboard, and down here at the bottom is the full length, and I copy that link I'm going to get back out of here. Close that out. And I'm just going to do an add. I'll show you how easy it is. I've given the kids the link. So in their case, they would just type it in. There it is. All they have to then do is put their name and go. And it will take them to it. And now they're in the activity. Okay? Let me go back. So this also will show you, this is your dashboard you're viewing, that page there that popped up with the link and everything. You just click in the corner of it. It gets rid of it. And now I have a dashboard. And so I can follow along and it will click, it will make X's and check marks as the kids work through this. So in other words, if I come here to Johnny and I just click and next and move it around, you know, either want me to do some moving here, so forth. And then I could type something in and submit. Okay, now again, I'm going to go back to my screen. And now you see, Johnny missed this one. Okay, if you want to know what Johnny typed in, you can click on it. Or what Johnny did. In this case, this was where I was just moving it. Let's see, this one was the one I typed in. Must have skipped one. Okay, there it is. Somehow I skipped over one. Okay, and so you can see that. So you can actually go back. This is automatically saved. You don't have to worry about saving it at all. The other thing about this is if you want to post on the board where you can kind of watch where everybody's at, what everybody's doing, you can do anonymous, makes fake names on there, and then click it back when you're done. The other thing that you can do is pacing. So it says select a screen to start your pacing. And so let's say I want to stop the kids when they get right here. Okay. And so I want them to do all till 5. So I'm going to restrict it to screen 5. That means it's automatically going to stop. So once they stop there, we're ready to go on. Then I can move them on down the road, however far I want them to go. Okay, so that's kind of nice if you want to keep the kind of people self-paced. You don't want somebody jumping way out in advance in front of you. Of course, you can always pause it also, and then nobody can do anything with it. Okay, you'll notice up here, if someone comes in late or something, there is the code. You could always give that to them again. Again, that is the student view. Snapshot. I don't ever use that piece of it, but that's if you wanted to take a snapshot of the kids' work on something there. Maybe, I don't know, really when you might want to do that. Okay, so that is how you would assign and then kind of look at it as the kids were doing it. Again, remember, you can make it anonymous. If you want to put it on the screen so that kids see it, you can pace it so that they can have to stop at a certain part. You can pause it so everyone has to stop. Nobody can get on it. Okay, and you can just back out to that. It's saved. If you get out of it, just go right back in and you can just open it back up. You can put the date tells you, I guess it tells you when it was assigned. I thought there was a date you could sign it when it ends, and I know it says here expires February 21st, but I'm not sure what that was. Let's see. What else? Okay, so the other thing is if you're not sure if you want to assign it, you want to see what it is first. In that case, hit Student Preview. Okay, and now as a teacher, you can flip through, you can play with it, you can do whatever you want to do, and it doesn't save anything. You're just previewing it. The other things I didn't mention, but as a teacher, my face is kind of in the way there, there's, let me move that out just for a second. So you can, let me show you how it works here in teacher view there, but there is this teacher moves here. And so what that allows you to do, if you click on that, This is suggestions. So this says this screen is for students to play around with. Don't use it to check for correctness. Instead, let students match each target in turn. If students seem to struggle in large numbers, pay students to this screen and have the conversation about how to match these. So each one of them. Now I'm going to go on and get myself out of the way again. Go on to the next one. I'll just move on down the road here just a little bit. Okay, so this is like putting it all together. See how this is down here, and it's on every one of them. So it's, again, it's teacher moves. Highlight several students' responses for the class. Start informal math, language, and reasoning. The other thing is it'll always give you, on things like this, open-ended, it'll give you a suggested right answer, something you need to look for if you're not really sure what the slide is asking for. Okay? Let's see what else. Let's get back out of here. So I've showed you how to create the class code. You can, again, when you assign it by creating a class code. View the dashboard. That allows you to be able to copy that link and post it to Classroom or whatever. Or again, just give them this. Tell them to go to students.desmos.com and just give them that. When you click this closed, okay, that is where your preview screen is. Again, here's the code up here if you need to see that. To get out of it, you can just back on out of it. But again, like I said, if you close out, it's not that big of a deal. You could use that same class code if you've got multiple classes. You could use that same code for everyone. It does get kind of lengthy, and I would think on there when you're viewing it, it would be harder because to see them all. I personally create a class code for each class, and then just that way I don't have so much stuff. I'm going to show you real quick another one, and there is a video that is specifically over how this one works. It is called the Polygraph. My kids love the Polygraph because they actually compete against each other. What Polygraph is, and again, I've got a video that shows that, but it starts off with a blank screen. Well, they have to kind of do a little emoji type thing and sign in, and that's kind of fun. They like picking that. And then it'll team them up. It'll do in pairs. So if you have an odd number, you want to be on more than likely and play with somebody, just because if not, somebody's sitting out. You don't want that. So one person will be assigned to pick. The other person is assigned to ask questions on that. Their answers or their questions have to be worded in such that they're yes and no. I really stress to the kids to use geometric terminology, or if they're in algebra terminology, and making sure that they're using it correctly. So this is kind of a practicing of your vocabulary. Excellent activity. Again, the kids like it, and I'll usually let them play for a while so that they get a pair up with maybe 2, 3, 4. It's up to you how many you want them to play with. But again, it's practicing terminology. Every time they finish one, it will automatically assign them to somebody else that is available. Okay, that's Polygraph. Again, kids really like that. The other thing too is if you are assigning a polygraph, you can do it just like I showed you earlier. You can go to your dashboard, view your dashboard, and you can actually see the questions that the kids are asking of each other. I would strongly suggest that you do have that open. Keep an eye on it. It is, you hate to say this, but it is an area in which kids can say things that are not appropriate. And I have had a few try that. So I make a point of saying, you know, and usually it's only once or twice that they know that you're actually watching what they're writing. Also, it gives you a chance to make sure they're using that geometric vocabulary, the correctly words. And sometimes I'll come back and I'll say, hey, this person worded this question this way. Are they using the vocabulary correctly? So again, that's in the dashboard. You can do that. Okay. And again, you can just look through there and see. You could also do a topic up here. If you wanted just something that deals with area, just do area. Okay. And they really have a little bit of all different levels. Okay. So hope this helps you on getting started with Desmos. And now we'll look at the actual geometry portion of that.